pounding rain, raging winds, and devastating storm surge. When hurricanes make landfall, they bring a trifecta of threats that are capable of leveling communities and destroying lives and livelihoods. Named after the ancient Taino trinity god of storms, Hurricane. Hurricanes are giant energy powerhouses. Here's a look at what they're made of, how climate change is affecting them, and how to limit damage from their wrath. Since the 1950s, population growth has increased significantly in Sunbelt states. Millions of people have moved to coastlines, from Texas to the Carolinas, putting more lives and property in harm's way during hurricanes. Florida, the hurricane capital of the United States, now is the third most populous state in the nation. Recognizing that Americans are increasingly vulnerable to extreme weather, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Weather Radiation Initiative is helping communities plan for events like violent tornadoes, destructive hurricanes, and widespread flooding. As a meteorologist and supporter of this effort, I believe that everyone should understand what kinds of severe weather hazards could affect their family and home and be ready for them. What is a hurricane? A hurricane is an intense, low-pressure weather system of organized, swirling clouds and thunderstorms that gain energy from warm tropical waters. While we're using the term hurricane here, these systems are actually identical to typhoons and cyclones. The name varies depending on where they originate from. They're called hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin and in the Central and Eastern Pacific Ocean, typhoons in the Northwestern Pacific, and cyclones in the Indian Ocean and South Pacific. More on this later. To be classified as a hurricane, wind speeds must reach at least 74 miles per hour. That's powerful enough to peel off roof shingles. With their distinctive buzzsaw shape when viewed from above, hurricanes spin around a low-pressure center known as the eye, an area of calm and sometimes even clear sky. Journalist Edward R. Murrow, who flew through the eye of 1954's Hurricane Edna, described it as a great amphitheater, round as a dollar, a great bowl of sunshine. The eye, which is typically 20 to 40 miles across, is surrounded by a circular eye wall, a dense wall of clouds and thunderstorms containing the most violent wind and rain. Beyond the eye wall and extending for as much as hundreds of miles, slowly rotating rain bands bring their own intense thunderstorms, capable of producing fierce winds and tornadoes. How do hurricanes form? While any tropical disturbance can spawn a hurricane, the origins of nearly 83% of major Atlantic hurricanes, Category 3 and up, come from North Africa, where the Sahara's scorching summer heat meets the cooler, more humid air that rises from West Africa's forested coastal regions. The contrast in temperatures forms an area of strong high-altitude winds known as the African easterly jet, which moves from east to west. Because of the temperature differences in the lands over which it crosses, the jet stream wobbles from north to south, creating atmospheric troughs, basically V-shaped tropical waves of low-pressure areas that get pushed along by the winds. These tropical waves, which can trigger clusters of thunderstorms, emerge near the Cape Verde Islands, just west of Africa, hence the term Cape Verde hurricane, and continue westward across the Atlantic Ocean. What to do during a hurricane? Before, during, and after a storm, follow the instructions of local authorities. If told to evacuate, do so immediately. As a storm develops, evacuation routes may close. If forced to weather a storm in place, stay away from windows, skylights, and glass doors, which can shatter. Head to an interior room, bathroom, or closet. If floodwaters are a threat, head to the highest floor, excluding closed attics, where you could become trapped if floodwaters rise high enough. Do not operate gasoline-powered machinery, such as generators, indoors, as that can cause monoxide poisoning. What to do instead of taping windows? For Atlantic and Gulf Coast residents, hurricane preparedness has to be a way of life. It means knowing whether you live in a designated evacuation zone. That's key in the event of storm surge, when a hurricane pushes seawater up onto local beaches and inland areas. Readiness also means having a family and business disaster plan that details preparations and maintaining a hurricane survival kit. Another priority is knowing how to protect your home and business from damaging winds. Conducting a home insurance review with your agent and scheduling a wind mitigation inspection will identify what you can do to strengthen and protect vulnerable parts of the building, such as windows, entry doors, garage doors, and roofs. Adding metal hurricane shutters or hurricane-resistant windows can help. So can retrofitting the attic or eaves with metal hurricane straps, which connect the rafters to the walls to prevent the roof from blowing off. Here's one step to skip: putting tape onto windows for wind protection from a hurricane. Tape does nothing to reduce wind damage, so this is a waste of time. Consumers also need to rethink how they shop for a new home in storm-prone areas. It's to want granite countertops, walk-in closets, and a safe neighborhood near schools and parks. But buyers should also consider how well a house is built, its age, the materials it contains, the shape and condition of the roof, and building code requirements at the time it was constructed. And they should ask whether the house is located in a flood-prone area, has wind-resistant features, or has been retrofitted against hurricanes. Even residents who don't live in a zone where it is required should consider taking out flood insurance. Storm testing buildings. Florida International University's International Hurricane Research Center, which is part of our Extreme Events Institute, was designated NOLA's first weather-ready nation ambassador in South Florida. Our wall of wind facility is capable of creating Category 5 hurricane conditions, winds with speeds over 157 miles per hour. Like crash testing for vehicles, wind testing can help ensure that structures, traffic signals, and building components can hold up under stress. The Wall of Wind is part of the National Science Foundation's Natural Hazards Engineering Research Infrastructure Program. For educational outreach, we host the yearly Wall of Wind Mitigation Challenge, in which teams of local high school students develop innovative wind mitigation concepts and solutions. And the Extreme Events Institute uses a risk equation to help the public understand and support measures to confront the risk drivers that lead to major losses: wildfires, tornadoes, and floods. NOAA's National Weather Service is also investing in new forecasting tools and linking its forecasts to life-saving decisions made in every state and county. The goal is to provide timely forecasts that emergency managers, first responders, government officials, businesses, and the public can act on. Across the United States, Weather Ready Nation ambassadors are preparing for many types of extreme weather events. Another extreme wildfire season is expected in many western states. The Oregon Office of Emergency Management is asking residents to have a bag packed and to prepare an evacuation plan. We are all in this together. Thank you for watching, and please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable post alerts to view more of our future videos. After saying that, keep watching our videos, and I'll speak with you in the next one.